Hi, welcome to my video on buying a brand new motorcycle. I'm doing this video because there is not a lot of information out there for purchasing a brand new motorcycle. There's no consumer reports, for example, about how to know what's the best price to pay or how to negotiate for the price of a motorcycle. Many people feel like it's just like a car, but other people feel like it's completely different. So I'm doing this video to shed some light on that and share my experiences. I've bought 3 brand new motorcycles the last 5 years. Going into it, I had really no information about what to do, and I made some mistakes, and I want to use that information along with some research that I've gotten from some friends of mine to pass along some tips so you can save perhaps hundreds of dollars on the cost of your new motorcycle. I want to give a couple disclaimers. One is that I'm not going to talk about Harley Davidsons or BMWs. I just don't have that experience, and I think their pricing structure is a little bit different. So I'm going to be concentrating primarily on Japanese. But I also bought a Ducati, so there's some carryover there, maybe Triumphs as well. I'm not going to cover leftovers. You probably can use some of these tips and save even more money, but I'm just not going to cover that. And your experiences are going to be probably very different than mine, so those are also valuable. If there's some things that I've left out, please feel free to post them in the comment section so other people can learn. I really want this to be a learning tool for people. Okay, several principles of how to buy a motorcycle. The first one is to do your research. I think that is probably one of the most important things. You really should know going in what to be paying for this motorcycle, what's a good deal and what's not. Time is money, and if you want to really save some money, you're going to have to put some time in, so maybe several hours. And I'm going to go from the assumption that you already know what motorcycle you want. That's really important, and it's probably a whole nother video on its own, but you should really know going in this is the motorcycle for you and have a good idea of what you want before you step foot into the dealership. Okay, the first thing you really need to know to get your price is what the MSRP is, and that's very easy to find. That's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. You can find that on the internet, on the manufacturer's websites, in the magazines, or just on the dealer's showroom floor. Okay, the most important thing that I think that you need in this process is to know a range of price for the motorcycle. You should know a low range and a high range of what you should pay. Now the high range is probably going to be MSRP. The low range is going to be closer to the dealer's true cost for the motorcycle. And hopefully you're going to work out a deal somewhere in there, probably in the middle. Okay, now where are you going to find this range or determine it? I think really the best source is the internet for this. You are going to be one of hundreds of people who have made this purchasing decision, and many people share that information on the net. And there are a lot of very good sources out there to find that. My favorite ones are the internet forums that deal with motorcycling. There are some that deal with very specific models and probably the bike that you're looking at. I know of VFRD, VFR Discussion, the KLR 650 forum. There's really forums for every type of motorcycle out there. Monster forums, some other ones. Then there's also the more general motorcycling forums that cover all makes and models of a particular style. The ones that I use very frequently there are sporttouring.net and ADV Rider. Both are very good sources. You can use these sources to really search through the posts and see what people are paying for brand new bikes. Or you can start your own post and just ask, what are people paying? Is this a good deal? What should I expect to pay? And let the internet community kind of come to you with that information. And don't feel afraid to post that up, because I'm sure that many other people are looking for that information too and can use it. So use that. After you do this research, it's going to probably take you several hours, you really should have a good idea of a range of price to pay for the motorcycle. The internet is also really good for finding out any additional dealer incentives or rebates that you may not have ordinarily known about or are not advertised, not on the manufacturer's website. For example, the last bike I bought had a $200 rebate from the manufacturer, and I was able to use that information to my advantage, make a really good deal on that. When you're looking at price, it gets confusing. I think the standard that you should use is what they call the OTD price, the out-the-door price. Now, where it gets confusing is people will tell you they pay this amount out the door, but some people are rolling their taxes, their sales tax in, their state sales tax, their registration and title fees, licensing and all that. What I want you to look at is what are people paying the dealer? What is the price going to the dealer? what's the price of the motorcycle, and then any additional costs incurred from buying it at the dealership. So that should be your out-the-door price. So you really should be comparing apples to apples in this process. Now, where are you going to buy your motorcycle? And for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to concentrate on brand new motorcycle dealers. That's where most people buy their bikes, and I think some of the other places like eBay or online, you may be able to use some of these tips, but I think just because of the popularity, you're going to want to go to a brand new motorcycle dealer. The other factor is that you're going to be going to this dealer for service, parts, and accessories down the road, and it's important if you have a good relationship with this dealer that you can carry this through. You really need to feel good about this dealer, even if they don't necessarily have the best price. Someone told me many years ago that low price and great service don't go hand in hand, and that's really true with motorcycles. You may have to pay a little bit more to get it at a dealer that's got a good reputation for service, will treat you with respect, and really have a good buying experience. If you get a low price but you feel like crap about the whole experience, well, it's not really much good. I'd rather pay a couple $100s more to a good dealer, reward them for their service, and have that good relationship going in. I think that's a really important component that may get overlooked in searching for the best price. Next step would be to visit a dealer that's got the bike on the showroom floor. Not all dealers do. They may have them in the warehouse or whatever, but I think it's really important to go and look at the bike that you want. It's even better if you can look at multiple dealers and compare them, and this is a little bit tougher with some of the European brands like Ducati, BMW, Triumph, and so forth. But go check out the bike, and this will tell you several really important things. One, look, how are you treated by the dealer? Do they wait on you? Do they answer your questions? Are they able to answer your questions knowledgeably? That's a great test if you just go in and ask some questions that you already know the answer to, but just to see, do these salespeople know what they're talking about? That should give you some good indication this is someone that you want to deal with. Do they act like they care that you're there? Again, are they willing to invest in you after the sale, and they just don't, it's not just that they want your money? Really important stuff to find out. So preferably you've picked out your dealer, you've got an idea of the range. Now let's go into the third principle, is how to deal or how to negotiate, how to get your best deal out of a dealership. Important thing I think is to get multiple offers on the bike. If you go to one dealer, you're really at their mercy, and you don't have much leverage on them to get a better price. So go to multiple dealers, get multiple offers. You don't necessarily have to go or travel. You can call, email, just even fax, whatever. I mean, just ask them for the lowest price. Just tell them that you're a serious buyer, you're ready to buy this bike, and you just want to get the lowest price and see what you get. And then you'll have several offers that you can take. Okay. Next part of negotiation is to be assertive. And for many people, this is a problem. They don't want to be seen as confrontational, but it's not. You're not being aggressive. You're not being a jerk. You're just asserting your rights. You're trying to get your best deal. It's your money, so you really have to stand up for yourself. If you'd rather not deal with that, then you can just pay MSRP and know that you don't have to, you can avoid any conflict and just get your bike. But if you want to save some money, save several $100s, if not more, you really should be assertive and stand up for yourself in these negotiations.